again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the Full Circle Racing Designs 22 Next Gen mod. And we are ready for 50 laps at Bristol night. The night race at Bristol is always fun, especially when it is a cut-off race. We will see who will join us in the next round. Green flag is out on the bottom behind Brandon in that A-Shock Toyota. We're, of course, rolling in our X4 Tides of Avarice Camaro, rolling that bottom with Chris Buescher, looking to the outside, and BJ MacLeod fighting back. William Byron was on the pole. Denny Hamlin looking up top. Kevin Harvick following through on the bottom with Joey Logano. Kyle Larson looking for a little bit of daylight on the bottom. Kyle Busch leading that charge on the outside with Ryan Blaney and Eric Almirola. And the bottom line should prevail here. We just need to make sure that we stay in that bottom and work. Brandon a little loose off the bottom, almost into Ryan Blaney. Brandon leaves a lane right there, trying to diamond the corner. Brandon gets a good launch off, and we're into Eric Almirola just a little bit. That's just short track racing. Eric is no worse for the wear, and we do have a hole right up behind Blaney. Charging down to the bottom, Blaney looks to the inside, trying to put Kyle Larson up 3 wide. Blaney gets back in line just barely, and Denny Hamlin is still fighting on that outside groove, as well as Kevin Harvick has moved to the top to try to get around Kyle Busch. And behind us, not so much. Side-by-side action, we're gaining a little bit of a gap, but here at Bristol, the lapped cars will come into play very, very quickly, especially if we have a caution and everyone starts single file. The last car running will be already a half lap down. Ooh, checking up off of 2. We'll get a run on the outside of Ryan Blaney. It looks like that bottom may be stalling a bit. Everyone else single file, so we're leading the charge on that outside, and we got a good run to the outside of Ryan Blaney, almost into the door, trying to keep him from being able to come up, and we will complete that pass. So the high line actually worked for us a little bit. Right side tires were a little bit angry on that move, and we're not planning on pitting even though we're at 3X tire and fuel wear. So the tires should be pretty beat at the end of this 50 lap run. Whoa! Little loose going into 3. We pitch and catch it. Blaney tries to take advantage, but we're able to get the power down and get back down to the bottom. A little bit of a moment there. And Joey Logano looking to the inside, trying to pass Brandon. Kyle Larson leaves the door open on that high side. We'll charge the bottom, trying to follow Joey Logano through. Touch that apron just a little bit, trying to get the car rotated and get under power. And we're side by side with Larson. We should be able to complete this pass in the middle of the corner, and indeed Kyle rolls out. Getting back in line, William Byron still on the point. Denny Hamlin second, Kevin Harvick third, Kyle Busch fourth, and Brandon rounding out your top 5. We're running in 7. And points-wise, we are not in danger by any stretch of the imagination. This is mainly a battle to see who will join us. A lot of drivers were mathematically good after the last race at Kansas. Of course, the deeper into these playoffs we go, winning becomes even more important, as only a few cars can go in on points. After this round, of course, the points will reset to 3,000 plus whatever bonus points were accumulated. So even though the final standings may look a little bit interesting, they won't look that way once the bonus points are applied. There will be a big shuffle when the race is said and done. William Byron trying to ensure that he moves on to the next round with some bonus points. 5 extra bonus points. Can't go wrong with that. And we've gone green long enough that lap cars should start to come into view, but I don't see them, even though William Byron is picking them up and laying them down fairly well. Trying to get that run. Joey Logano is running nearly the exact same speed. We're a little bit faster. We just need to get a fender on him, but he gets that launch off the corner. We'll look to the inside here. Get to the inside of Logano as Brandon gets to the inside of Kyle Busch. Almost into Logano. We couldn't open up the wheel. Logano moves down. We are a little loose under braking. That allows Kyle Larson to fall right back in line and pounce if we make a mistake. So Brandon making the move on Kyle Busch, and there is lap cars side by side in front of William Byron. So this is going to get interesting for sure. Everyone is going to start trying to get the best real estate possible to make those moves. And out of the mirror, Kyle Larson is still right there. I'd feel a little bit better if we had a bit of a gap to navigate the lap traffic, but as of now, it looks like we have to kind of catch Joey sleeping. As he is protecting that bottom, we finally get a run on the bottom. We're not able to get full power down, however, and Joey gets a launch off the corner, still looking to the inside. Logano, very tough to pass here. And William Byron is indeed fighting amongst the lap cars as well as Denny Hamlin, so those leaders might come back to us, especially if those lap cars run side by side. We need to get into an advantageous position before we get to those lap cars to give us the best chance of getting out of there alive. Good run down to the bottom. Logano fights back, however, and finally clipping the apron, getting the shorter way around, complete the pass on Logano. We'll see if we can step out on Logano just a little bit. Lap cars are now single file. Kevin Harvick trying to pass Cody Ware, and we're putting a lot of stress on those right side tires as laps are clicking by very quickly. We've got the conveyor belt running. Brandon now looking to that inside of the 51, looking forward. Byron is a little bit stalled as some lap cars are side by side in front of him. Cody Ware sticking to the outside groove. Much appreciated there, Cody, as long as he doesn't try to come down on us. Can't complete the pass completely. Have to give Cody Ware some room. He doesn't roll out, but we got the pass done in 3. And we'll see if Kyle Busch can be reeled in here with the 38 of Todd Gilliland blocking Harvick and Brandon. Brandon really aggressive, looking under Harvick, trying to make that move, looking for daylight. Harvick looking low, Brandon looking low under him, and that chokes up Kyle Busch a bit. We're able to finally get under Kyle here and see where Brandon is going to go. Denny Hamlin on the outside, however, of Corey LaJoie fighting back on that bottom. Brandon almost body slams Kevin Harvick, forcing him to move up the groove. And we can take advantage of that, fill that hole that Kevin left. And Brandon really aggressive, trying to get around that 38. And we'll use that 38 as a stopper to get Kevin Harvick behind us. And Kyle Busch will fill that spot as well, dropping Kevin back a few more spots. And now it's up to Brandon to get around Corey LaJoie. There is the leader, William Byron, fighting behind Timmy Hill and Alex Bowman, the teammate, not having a good run, and the 7 is around. Brandon into Corey LaJoie a little bit. Caution will come out. Let's take a look and see if Corey got into anyone else. So lap 27, there is the initial contact. Corey up into the wall, sliding down into Joey Logano. Logano gets dumped by Eric Almirola and flipped on his lid, and poor Martin Truex cannot catch a break. So it's a good thing we got around Joey Logano, otherwise we might have been involved in that. And there goes Logano on over, and Cody Ware also with a little bit of damage, but Austin Dillon gets away scot-free. So lap 30, 20 laps to go, and the leaders are all coming down pit road, looking behind us for everyone else to come down. I think we are going to roll the dice here and see if we can get a win in those bonus points. I don't know if we would have been able to pass William Byron and Brandon on equal footing, but maybe track position will work out well for us, and perhaps Alex Bowman here can keep the lap traffic pinned down. So coming to lap 34, 16 to go, and Alex Bowman ended up pitting, but Cody Ware is leading that bottom groove of lapped cars. So hopefully Cody can make Denny Hamlin's life a little bit miserable as we take the point. Green flag is out. Good launch. And away we go again. And if we can stretch this out, we might be able to extend our lead here. But Denny Hamlin is indeed clear of Cody Ware, so that is going to be a little bit difficult. So far, so good, and I don't think we're going to run into any lapped cars in 16 laps, although I'm not sure how many were one lap down or how long the line was of lead lap cars. So we may catch them sooner rather than later, but let's just keep eyes out of the mirror, eyes out front. And there's only a few cars behind us. We got into the wall a little bit. Denny Hamlin is right there, really aggressive. As long as we hold the bottom, we'll have to force Hamlin to go up top unless Hamlin wants to drive through us, and that is a whole different ball of wax. A little loose off the corner, but tires still holding well. I don't know if new tires were really going to matter in the long scheme. At least that's what I'm telling myself here. We were the only car to stay out on old tires. We're sliding just a little bit on corner exit, but we're maintaining that gap. However, one mistake and Denny Hamlin will be right there to pounce on fresh tires, and I don't know if we could get back around him if that indeed happened. A big gap behind third. Looks like William Byron there in third, and then a big gap behind. So if anything, we can still come away with a top 3 if we slide up. Getting down to less than 10 to go, getting down to the nitty-gritty. And trying to keep this car under us as best we can. Don't slide the tires, and we're maintaining that gap. Most importantly, Hamlin isn't making any aggressive charges. On the bottom, we're able to maintain that center speed. And as long as the corner exit is fine, Denny won't be able to get back to us. Good run down the straightaway. Looking back in the mirror, Hamlin still maintaining a few car lengths back. Clear out of the windshield, no lap cars coming. And laps continue to tick down. A yellow flag would work out well in our favor. We would stay out, of course, and then have to fight off a single file attack now that we're under 10 to go. Still able to get that good launch, and we actually gapped Hamlin just a little bit. And Brandon is up there creeping in fourth. I can see him coming up to William Byron, so that will help us out if Brandon can race side by side with those guys behind. And my worst nightmare is out of the windshield now with lapped traffic. I can't afford to roll over, but it looks like Denny Hamlin might be rolling over just a bit. Feeling the pressure from Brandon having to go on defense is allowing us to open up this gap a bit, so we can take care of our tires, not do anything too aggressive. And Brandon has completed that pass on both of them. And he does have fresh tires, and his center corner speed is going to be tremendous. We'll hold that bottom, try to make him go around on the outside, but unfortunately we slid up off of 2. He's got a fender there, got to give him the lane. He rolls out of it, gives us a chance to reel it back in. He could have stuffed it in there and really made both of our lives miserable, thought better of it, but he is still on the attack. Much more pressure than Denny Hamlin was able to give. So Hamlin is no longer my focus. It's eyes in the mirror with Brandon right there. We need to get back to Cody Ware, who was leading the line on the restart. Now he's the last. Brandon looking to the inside will give him the lane. On the bottom, try to fight back on the high side. Brandon touches the apron. White flag, 1 lap to go. He's still on the bottom. We got the pass done, but carried too much speed through 1 and 2 to get back to the bottom. Lap traffic won't be a factor. We get to the bottom. Brandon looking to the top. Oh, loose. Oh, and into Brandon. Brandon into the wall just a bit. And I don't know if Brandon got second on that or third. That was close, but a reminiscent almost of the dirt race in real life. Let's take a look at the top 10. So we came across the line in first, looking back ever so slowly. Oh, Denny Hamlin got Brandon at the line for second. Brandon in third. Fourth place, William Byron. Fifth place, Kyle Larson. Sixth place, Kyle Busch. Seventh place, Kevin Harvick. Eighth place, Austin Cindric. And ninth place, Ross Chastain. And rounding out your top 10 is Tyler Reddick. Now let's look at the other championship hopefuls. So Ryan Blaney finishes 28th. Brad Keselowski up in 13th. Chase Elliott comes across in 19th. Joey Logano with a 36th place finish. Kurt Busch with a 33rd. Austin Dillon with a 20th. Eric Almirola with a 35th. And Martin Truex Jr. with a respectable 12th. So your standings after Bristol before the reset. Joey Logano just 3 points to the good. Makes the cutoff with Kurt Busch Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola, and Martin Truex Jr. missing out. After points reset, Kevin Harvick is your new cutoff driver, 2 over Keselowski and Elliott, 7 over Reddick and Cendric. And we head to the T's, Texas, Talladega, and then the Roval in the next round. So, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week for Texas. Take care.